He's not asking you to have all the details, have every inch of the plan figured out. That's what he's for. What he's doing is he's asking you to trust him and just take the next step forward. He's simply saying, follow me. Follow me. I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. I'm not going to fail you. Just follow me. Hey. Welcome back to the Raven Nole Show. I'm your host, Raven C. Nole. And if you've been feeling a stirring inside of you, like God is calling you to something more, but you're not sure what it is or how to step into it, this episode is for you. Maybe you love serving in ministry, but something inside of you feels unsettled. Maybe your corporate job no longer excites you and you feel this pull towards something more meaningful. Or maybe, just maybe, you're in a season of transition, wondering, God, what's next? I want you to know you're not crazy. You're being called into a new season. Now, before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And if this message resonates with you, share it with a friend because chances are she's feeling the same tug too. All right. Now, believe it or not, I hear from so many women all the time. They say similar things like, I feel like there's more for me, but I don't know what it is. I feel restless, like God is shifting me into a new season. I want to make an impact, but I don't know how or where do I even start? Listen, woman of God, if you've been feeling this way, I want to give you 5 clear signs that you are in a season of transition. I believe this podcast episode is going to bless you because listen, it is a season where God is stretching you, he's preparing you, and he's calling you into a greater purpose. So at the end of this episode, you'll have clarity on what's happening inside of you and what your next step may be. So let's just go ahead and dive in. Let's just get right to the nitty gritty. Okay, so here's the first sign that you're being called to more. And I truly believe that if you have come across this podcast episode today, you're probably relating to this on a deep level. And so my prayer is that God can bring some clarity to you. All right. So the first sign is you feel unfulfilled where you are, even if you once loved it. That's a big one because listen, I totally understand that feeling. It's like you've been faithful where God placed you, but all of a sudden lately something feels off. Something feels different. It's like the passion that you once had is starting to fade and you no longer feel challenged or stretched by where you are. And maybe you're even thinking like, there has to be more to my life than this. There has to be more in general than where I am currently in life. And truly, you're just feeling unsettled, even though nothing is necessarily wrong, right? You still can't shake this feeling that you've outgrown this space. And the truth is, sometimes God makes you uncomfortable in your current assignment. He makes you uncomfortable in your current season of life. He makes you uncomfortable in the current space that you're in because he's preparing you for your next assignment. And if you remain comfortable in this space in life, in this season that he has you in currently, then you may remain where you are. If you stay comfortable here and everything is looking all nice and comfortable and you got your blanket and you got your pillows and you got your nice little comfortable clothes and all those different things and everything is just, bows and sunshine, then you're going to remain in that season. You're not going to want to move out of that season, but God doesn't want you there. So he's making you uncomfortable so that he can shift you to your next season. Because again, if you stayed here, you may never shift into what God has for you next. And so when you're made to be uncomfortable, now God has your attention. And he may have never gotten your attention unless you start to feel that discomfort and you start to say, wait a minute, this isn't as enjoyable anymore. This isn't as fulfilling anymore. And so now that you're starting to feel that way, you're starting to think like, okay, maybe I need to make a change or I need to shift. And so that uncomfortable feeling, that discomfort, that allows God to have your attention. Now, here's the second sign that you may be being called to more. You feel an inner restlessness and a pull towards something, but you can't quite define it, right? You know that feeling where you keep being drawn to new things. Maybe you're like, oh, I want to try this, or oh, I never thought about doing this, or all of a sudden you're thinking about, pursuing something that you never thought in your life that you would pursue. But you're still unsure if it's just like a random idea. Is this me? Is this God? Is this something deeper? You're noticing you're no longer satisfied with the status quo. You're craving a greater level of impact on a higher level. And so now you're asking more questions about your life. You're like, who am I? You're asking questions about who you are, like, why am I on this earth? What is my purpose? And you kind of feel like God is nudging you, right? He's nudging you, but you don't know exactly where he's nudging you to. It's not fully clear what's next, but you start feeling that way. So when you start feeling like this and you're starting to experience this, it's because God is shifting your season. He's not trying to confuse you. He's trying to awaken you. He's trying to get your attention, like I said before. He's trying to say, stop looking over there and start looking over here. Like you're being shifted, you're being transformed. Your old season is no longer satisfying, like we kind of touched on, but you can't quite gain language just yet for what's next. But you know that something is on the horizon, something is coming up very soon. Now, the third sign that you may be being called to more is that you've outgrown your current environment, but you're afraid to move. I know that very well. Listen, I get it. You love the people you're around, but you're no longer feeling fed by those same conversations, right? You're no longer feeling fed by those same teachings or those same environments or those same routines, right? You love your people, your family, your friends, and all the associates around you, but something's not fulfilling there anymore. It's like the places that used to feel like home now feel either too small or they don't feel like you should be there. You feel like there has to be something different that's happening, right? Something inside of me is not necessarily connecting like it used to. And you know that God is calling you higher. You know it. You know that he's calling you into more, but you keep asking, what if I fail? And what if I'm not ready? You're hesitating because you're stepping into the unknown, and it just feels all in all overwhelming. It just feels absolutely overwhelming. But here's the thing. When you've outgrown a place and you've outgrown a space and you're staying there too long, it will stifle your growth, okay? God is not asking you to have it all figured out. He's not asking you to have all the details, have every inch of the plan figured out. That's what he's for. What he's doing is he's asking you to trust him and just take the next step forward. He's simply saying, follow me. Follow me. I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to forsake you. I'm not going to fail you. Just follow me. Now, the fourth sign that you're being called to more is that you keep getting stirred by certain topics or ideas, right? So you're having, certain conversations, books are popping up, maybe sermons, different things of that nature keep grabbing your attention. And you don't know why. You feel deeply connected to a particular cause, maybe a mission, a group of people. And God keeps bringing the same themes back to you over and over. And you find yourself dreaming about doing something new. You're imagining yourself doing something new, but you keep dismissing it like, oh, that's just a thought. That can't be real. That's a random idea. But that random idea just won't leave your mind. It just won't leave your thoughts because it's not random at all. God is giving you a glimpse, okay, into where he's taking you. He's giving you a glimpse into your next season, your next space in life. He's giving you a glimpse into your future, and he's aligning you with where he's calling you. He's starting to make you see yourself differently. He's starting to make you envision yourself differently. He's starting to awaken you to new ideas of who he's called you to be and your purpose and different things of that nature. So none of that is random. It's God actually aligning you with what's next. Now, the last and final sign that you're being called to more is that you've been feeling so many life disruptions. It's like a shift is happening here, a delay is happening here, a door closing here. All these different things keep happening. I don't know what's going on, right? And it just seems like things that once came easily now feel difficult or they feel frustrating. Opportunities that you thought were meant for you, suddenly they fell through, the door closed, it didn't happen. And so you're feeling like nothing is working the way it used to. Nothing is working the way it should be working, right? But deep down, you're also sensing maybe this is happening because God is redirecting me. Maybe this is happening because God is not sending me in this direction, but he actually wants me to go in that direction. And so your prayers maybe lately have shifted from God, open this door, to God, show me where I'm really supposed to be. Show me your will, align me with your will. Because the truth of the matter is, when a closed door happens, when an opportunity seemingly fails, that's oftentimes God's protection. It's not something that he's rejecting you. It's not that he's closing you out of it. He's redirecting you because he knows that there's something better for you. He knows that there's something greater for you. He knows that he has more for you. And sometimes we're so focused in this direction and our desires are aligned here. But God is like, if you just look over here, I have something greater. I have something more. I have something that you couldn't even imagine that will bless you. So that's what happens. So, woman of God, if any of these signs resonated with you, this is your confirmation that you are being called into more. And I want to personally invite you to the Call to Women Masterclass, a free 5-day virtual experience designed to help you gain clarity, confidence, and direction in your next season. It's going down February 17th through the 21st, and it is absolutely free. Like I said, it's online, so you can join from anywhere, your couch, you can join from work, you can join from wherever you are, your car, you can join us. Okay. So each morning, myself and other coaches will be leading powerful prayer sessions. In the evenings, you'll hear from transformational coaches and teachings from myself and other amazing women and ministry leaders like Natasha Miller, Pastor Cheryl Brady, and Dr. Cindy Trim. So if you're ready to stop questioning and start moving toward the purpose God has for you, sign up now using the link in the show notes and you can join us. So thank you for tuning in today. If this episode blessed you, make sure to share it, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps us to reach more women who are ready to step into their next season. Woman of God, hear me. You are made for more. God is calling you into more. So stop second guessing yourself and start saying yes. This is your time. Okay? Until next time, keep thriving and making an impact.